Hello everyone, welcome back to my Journalism of the Heart news channel. The story for today is Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard were both abusive to each other during their vicious quarrels. A marriage counselor testified in a videotaped deposition played Thursday in a Virginia courtroom. Depp, 58, is suing Heard for defamation over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed she wrote alleging that she was a victim of domestic violence. She did not name Depp. With Ms. Heard, he was triggered and they engaged in what I saw as mutual abuse, said Dr. Laurel Anderson, who described a dysfunctional and a volatile relationship. I know she led on more than one occasions and started it. Heard, 35, told Anderson that she had hit, socked and threw a can at the Pirates of the Caribbean star on various occasions. She said he had also hit her and once showed Anderson her bruises. It was a point of pride to her if she felt disrespected to initiate a fight, the Los Angeles doctor said, as Heard and Depp watched her testimony on a monitor in Fairfax County Circuit Court. Her father had beaten her. Depp was also physically abused as a child. During the couple's therapy sessions which began in October 2015, Depp had difficulty having a voice, Anderson said. Ms. Heard had a jackhammer style of talking, the clinical psychologist observed. She was very amped up. He had trouble talking at a similar pace. He was cut off a lot. Depp called Heard malicious, venomous and evil. Depp called then-wife Heard malicious, venomous and evil CT, in a text to his doctor, after the couple had a vicious row that left him with a missing digit in 2015. The message was read Thursday in court during the testimony of Depp's private addiction doctor, David Kipper. The blow-up occurred in Australia, where Depp was filming Pirates of the Caribbean. I cannot live like this. She's as full of ST as a Christmas goose. I'm done no more. He texted Kipper, who was in the country treating him for drug addiction at the time. I cut the top of my middle finger off. The actor's text appears to contradict prior testimony he gave in another proceeding when he said that Heard threw a vodka bottle at him, severing the top of his finger. He used the bleeding stub to write on the home's walls and mirrors during what he described as mental breakdown. In a conflicting account, Heard previously called the trip a three-day hostage situation, in which Depp attacked her and tore apart the house in a drug-fueled rage. She has denied injuring his finger. Witness says Heard gave her ecstasy. A witness testified Thursday that Amber Heard gave her ecstasy in 2015 during her and Depp's wild wedding on his private Caribbean island. Gina Deuters, whose husband works for Depp, told jurors in a Virginia courtroom that Heard and her friends appeared to be having a wonderful time, and offered her the pill. Heard, and all her friends were on it. It was like a party atmosphere, she said of the drug MDMA, also known as ecstasy. I decided to throw caution to the wind and try it. After the wedding, Deuters said she flew with Depp and his team to Australia, where the actor was filming Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. But her testimony was cut shortly after she admitted she had watched part of the trial before taking the stand. The judge abruptly dismissed her from the witness box and told the jury to disregard her testimony entirely. Heard's own mother was terrified of her. A former personal assistant said Heard was often abusive and had a blind rage, in a video deposition played for jurors. Her mother was terrified of her, said Kate James, who worked for the Aquaman actress from 2012 to 2015. Heard's mother, Paige Parsons, passed away in 2020. James described Heard as verbally abusive to her mum and her sister. Heard, 35, would bombard James in the middle of the night with text messages, she said. Between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. the barrage would start, she testified. It is what I would wake up to. All incoherent, not really making sense, just someone to lash out at. During one confrontation over James's salary, Heard went berserk, she said. She leapt up out of her chair, put her face approximately 4 inches from my face. She was spitting in my face, telling me how dare you ask me for the salary you're asking for, the ex-staffer recalled. James described herself as grossly underpaid and said she was later fired because Heard said she could no longer afford her services. Heard's assistant was paid very poorly. Kate James also said she was paid very poorly by the actress in a video deposition played Thursday for jurors. She said she worked for the Aquaman actress from 2012 to 2015 and her job duties were too many to mention. When asked if she was paid, she replied, very poorly, and characterized her former employer as demanding. The assistant, who had a decade of experience at the time, was initially paid $25 an hour, she said. James described Heard as dramatic, and said she didn't believe Johnny Depp ever abused her. That is all for Today News. Please make sure to leave your comment and subscribe the channel below for more news update. Thank you for watching.